All right, so Samsung just had their Unpacked 2024 event where they unveiled the Galaxy S24 line of phones, and a huge portion of that press conference was dedicated to the upcoming AI features that will be present on those devices. Now, during that live stream, if you were watching my live stream of their live stream, perhaps you saw this at the very end. One of my commenters actually spotted some fine print mentioned in regard to these AI features. And in this video, we're going to take a look at that stuff because it is extremely interesting and it is absolutely something you should be paying attention to. So if we jump over to this web page on Samsung.com, this is dedicated to showing off these AI features. And if we scroll through these, you'll see there are a whole lot of really interesting features, right? So generative edit is a cool one. Circle to search with Google is a cool one. Never lost in translation. So this is their automatic translation thing. But we got to scroll all the way down to the bottom because there's always fine print. And at first, you're like, this is just a wall of text, and it's probably nothing too crazy. Just a little, compared to the S23 Ultra, titanium, all that stuff, no big deal. But there's some stuff that you may miss here. Galaxy AI features will be provided for free until the end of 2025 on supported Samsung Galaxy devices. Different terms may apply for AI features provided by third parties. Let me read that again. Galaxy AI features will be provided for free until the end of 2025, implying, therefore, that they will be charging for these features after 2025. Now, if we scroll all the way up to the top, it mentions that, some of these things are provided by a third party, and we can kind of imagine which of these are. So their generative edit feature, which is strikingly similar to Google's Magic Editor. I don't think it's a coincidence that it is so similar to Magic Editor. Even some of the animations are the same as Magic Editor. I think that is because what is happening here is they are utilizing Google's tech. I believe that their image generation software or model, I should say, is called Imagine, or maybe it's like Imagine 2, but it's spelled like image with an N on the end of it. I think it's pronounced Imagine. That would make sense to me. So they're licensing Google's tech here. I don't think circle to search is going to be one of the paid things. I think that's just like a thing that's going to be part of Google's Assistant suite going forward. Summarize in the blink with AI, that could also be something that Gemini is doing. And what I'm getting at here is that if Samsung is indeed licensing Google's tech, this could sort of answer the question of why is it free on a Pixel and they're going to have to charge for it on a Samsung phone? Well, the answer is probably that Samsung knew they needed to have these sorts of features. They looked into doing it on their own and eventually decided licensing it from Google would be the easiest way to get this job done. But of course, they sell way more phones than Google does, and that's going to result in way more strain on Google's data centers. And of course, those are Google's data centers, and they're just licensing them. So it seems to me like possibly Google is going to charge Samsung for using these services and using their data centers for these services. Now, maybe they worked out a deal with Samsung where we're not going to charge you until 2025, and then we're going to charge you, and then they're going to charge us to kind of foot the bill for that. That's entirely possible. Now, does this mean that Google, with their Pixel phones, will start asking us to pay for those AI features down the line? I'm kind of skeptical that it will, because those are Google's data centers. Those are Google's features. And of course, like I said, they sell far fewer Pixel phones. It could be a really good way for them to sort of create a selling feature for their Pixel phones. Hey, if you buy a Google phone, just like how they used to have like unlimited backups on their cloud storage, which maybe is a bad example because they got rid of that, but you know what I mean? Maybe they'll stick with it being free for like a good while before eventually going pay. You know what I'm getting at? Now, it's possible that this will only be a short-term problem. Some of these things are already happening on device, like the live translation thing. You download the model onto your phone for the language you need to be translating, and my understanding is this occurs locally on your device. If you go back to their page, you can see here for this live translate, the number 6 next to it. Let's scroll down to the number 6. Samsung account login required. Calls must be made using the native dialer, but it does not say it requires an internet connection like it does for the summarizing of notes and other features. So again, this could be like a short-term thing. As these processors get better and better at AI tasks, more and more of the stuff can indeed happen locally on your device. And at that point, they don't have a great justification for charging for it. Maybe that won't stop people from still trying to, but if it's happening on your phone, there's no real logical reason to need to charge for. So Samsung may be thinking, okay, so we're going to say it's free until 2025, and then by then we might have, what would that be? The S25 is going to be around, and maybe that thing's got a strong enough processor and the NPUs are powerful enough that we can do all this stuff locally on the device, and then we're only going to be charging for people using the AI stuff on the older phones. This is definitely me speculating and trying to kind of predict the future a bit, but that's kind of where I think that we're going. Maybe it's not the 25, maybe it's the 26, but again, you can kind of see where this might be headed. Now, the cynics among us might say once they've introduced this sort of thing and we've gotten used to it and people are paying for it, why would they stop charging for it? And you may well be right. At any rate, at this very moment, we don't know exactly what this means. What are they going to charge? Which services are they going to charge for? They have simply not said. And what does this mean for Pixel devices? We just don't know. All we can do is speculate, but I did think it was at least worth passing along so that you guys kind of knew what you were looking at. If you do want to purchase one of these S24 devices, there will be links in the description and in the pinned comment down below. If you click on them and then make your purchase, it will help directly support the channel through commission. So again, if you're going to purchase the phone already, you might as well use my link and help support the channel. And now you'll do so knowing some of those AI features might cost you a couple bucks a month, hopefully no more than a couple bucks a month, something like that after 2025. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.